Hi, my name is Rachel Smith, and I chose to do the Artist Research Project. This is my presentation on Thomas Allen. Enjoy! Thomas Allen was born in Michigan in 1963, and he went to college where he originally started as a criminal justice major, but later switched to art and never looked back. His art works with paper cutouts and is often compared to pop-up books, which he's inspired by. He takes these papers in the form of book covers, paint swatches, and other things and repurposes them, giving them a new meaning. One of his first notable works is Red, which is from his pulp series, in which he takes old pulp fiction novels and uses their covers to create new art. He mentioned that he had this novel lying around in which, as shown in this image, has one man punching another. He realized that he could make them more three-dimensional by cutting them out and repositioning them. This formed his most recognizable style and what he is most known for today. For pulp in particular, he didn't use any digital media to adjust his photos, relying solely on how it appeared through his camera lens. As shown in this work, he manipulates light and framing within his photos to create emphasis and contrast. He does all this without using Photoshop or any other media to mess with his photos, doing everything by hand. With pulp, he changed the meaning of the images, giving them a new context and applying new ideas onto them. One quote from him says, quote, "My background, on my father's side anyway, is that they're all racists, for want of a better word. They're all womanizers. So I suppose I'm making a comment about my distaste for their behavior. It's about what I chose to distance myself from." End quote. The novels he takes pieces from are primarily from the 50s and have a very different cultural context behind them, so what he does is take these images and repurpose them, often twisting them to give them a more modern stance. The stories he creates by recontextualizing these images doesn't even have to be a modern social commentary either. He simply likes making new meanings. This quote on screen from an article titled "Vintage Book Covers Get Pop-Up Treatment" by Thomas Allen says, quote, "The works also frequently combine characters from multiple covers in collage-style images. These strange juxtapositions can give the images new, sometimes more erotic or more funny, meanings." End quote. Pulp was all about taking these old images and giving them a new story or a new meaning. Now, moving on to another one of his popular series, Paint by Numbers. In Paint by Numbers, he cut out silhouettes from paint swatches he found at the hardware store. In this quote from an interview with him done by Rebecca Thiel, he says, quote, "I was just picking paint for something else, and I saw the titles of the paint colors, and I thought they were kind of ridiculous. And I thought, well, when did paint become humanized? And so I started picking paint colors not by the hue, but by what they said on them." End quote. Paint by Number is about taking the name of the color and using it to create a new story, displaying that story through paper cutouts. Although much like Pulp, he stuck to keeping the photos for Paint by Numbers as they were when he took them, only editing out the string used to hold the paper up in the air. Overall, his art always has this real, detail-oriented quality to it, focusing on the way it looks in real life rather than how he can use digital effects to change his work. Everything has its own story, one that he conceptualizes and makes apparent in his work by reusing other materials. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for watching.